And then the one they took out of this pat was a little different shaped metallic object. But all these metallic objects have a biological membrane around that encompasses keratin, hemoceratin, and a protein colliglium. And when these objects, this membrane is red or saturated with blood, it can't be cut with a scalpel. And with mine was the first one they took and put it in sterile water. And it was in sterile water a little bit, and it kept the blood. Well, then the membrane became opaque, and they could cut it. And I remember Dr. Leir said they cut it, and then when they cut it, some bubbles came out of it, of oil, and they really didn't know where those come from. And also within this membrane, there are proprioceptor cells, which are for feeling, pressure. That's how your fingertips work. So you've got a signal cell that works with this membrane to transmit information via that cell to the body from, I presume this membrane is this, not only does it hide the metallic object in my body, it was the interfacing between that technology and my body, because then it hooked into my nervous system, and that's how it operated. So whatever it did, it did.
And it was metallic.
Yes. They're all metallic. They're made of, mine was made of like 32 different elements.
Oh, wow.
It's such a tiny object, don't even know how you put it together. And they were all in that general area. Some of them might have a little more iron, or some of them might have a little more silver, and some of them might have a little more platinum, or they're not really all analytically all the same, but like say for their shapes and stuff, I never seen them all, but Dr. Leir says, you can look at them all, and he'd kind of know which ones, but he says, basically, if you didn't know, you wasn't going to tell them apart. So, I took his word on it.
Now, after it was removed, did you notice anything different about yourself, how you felt, or your dreams that you were having beforehand, or anything change?
Well, see, I was wondering if he was going to ask me that question. I got to ask that out there. Well, how am I to know, what's different? You're...
Well,
I got nothing to base it on. Now, when I was asked that, yeah. Well, there for a while, and now for some odd reason, I had started getting fatigued pretty bad and stuff. As for my dreams and stuff, no, I really didn't notice any change. But I did notice that I was, I did start getting fatigued, and it did bother me for quite a while. I still kind of does, but I'm getting better. And I don't know whether I'm getting more adapted or whether, I think when this implant was in my body, in the mid '80s, I took a liver test and for a freebie, and it came back, and I had an asterisk by every column in the thing, and my wife went bazookaed. And for about 3 years, I had a lot of blood taken out of me trying to figure out. They thought there was something wrong with my liver, whether I might have drank too much when I was a kid or whatever. It finally got down. They told me it wasn't going to kill me, and I said, "Well, I quit. We're done then." So, but I didn't know I had an implant in my body, so it's hard to say. Yeah, what did it change me when it was in my body? I don't know. And whatever it did, I don't know. All I know, it was there. And,
well, okay.
I think there's a purpose for it, and I can take a lot of guesses. But I do think my precognition was because, like I said, I don't have no memory of nothing else. I don't have no daydreams, nightmares about aliens, and I don't, it's nothing along those lines. So whatever kind of slate they're leaving me is pretty calm.
Well, I was curious. After that, though, have you seen After you had the implant removed, Tim, did you have any more encounters with UFOs after that, or were the encounters after you were implanted?
Well, like I said, I think I was planted in 78 and then had to. Now, after I've had the implant removed, now we're getting into, have I had encounters? I can't say for sure that I have, but I'm not going to say that I haven't. I've had some strange things happen, so that's where I go. I mean, do I have any real? No, but I've had some very curious things happen to me, to put it to you mildly. I mean, to go, I'm pretty sure. I think extraterrestrials give me West Nile. Now, what for? I don't know. I know I woke up one night and it was one of them strange nights, and I had a burning in my one toe, and that was the first thing that come to my mind is they give me West Nile for some reason. I'm sitting there, and a couple days later I get West. But the interesting thing on that is I got West Nile, but I didn't get a bad case of it. I mean, it sucked, but I didn't, other people around here, I've heard of other people getting it, and it really doing some real bad things to them. But it really didn't do that to me. I mean, I had the chills and the fever and, some of the other stuff, but I really didn't have it really didn't tear me up like, there were a couple of people here that lived near Yuma that really, it really devastated their health. But it lets me know. But this is where I'm going to get to, as to maybe being whether I've been abducted again or not. Now, I don't really, I've seen some UFOs since then, but not up close. I mean, and I know what they are because they've made it basically clear, when you have satellites that stop and go away from you, or lights that are really coming and then all of a sudden just disappear you, and you got a pretty good hunch of what they are. But this is where I get with my Travis Walton story. But anyway, one night I'm sleeping, and I'm kind of starting to come to, and I got the sweats, and the water is running off of me. I can feel it, and my fever's up, and I'm West Nile, and I'm starting to wake up, and I feel like that I'm not alone or something. And all of a sudden I feel pressure kind of put on me, and I feel this mass come down on my face, and I stuck my finger up side my mouth, but this mass come over me, it feels like, and I'm out. Out. And then blam, I wake up, and I'm in my bed. But what do I notice right away? My pillow's dry. My sheets are dry.
And you're sweaty.
But the last thing I remember is, I can feel the water running off of me. So, that's interesting. And then I get up and I listen to Travis Walton, and how does he talking, but how does he leave the craft? They escort him into this room, and these Nordics put him on a table, and they're holding him down, and they bring a mask down on his face. And what's he do? He stick his hand up by his mouth, and this mask comes down his face, and he's out. And then the next thing he knows, he wakes up by the road with the light above him, and he sees the town down below. And when he told that line, my jaw kind of hit the floor, so that's where I go with that one. Say whatever you want, I don't know. Well, I can't say for sure, but
Whitney. He claims the same thing.
Yes, I know Whitney. I went out to California a couple times. I went out to a deal for Dr. Leir, and Whitney put it on. Nice man, nice people.
Yeah, he said, he's been abducted a few times or more than that. And, I think once they do abduct you and maybe implant you, even if you had it removed, my feeling is that they're monitoring you for the rest of your life for some reason.
Well,
I
I'm
think,
sure that, well, why wouldn't they?
yeah.
I mean, once, it might be a few people, but once they really got a little, time and effort invested in someone, they're not, it's just not give it up, I mean, I could have another implant in my body, but I don't know. How am I going to look for it?
Yeah, well, it was like Whitney's case. So it was strange when Dr. Leir tried removing it in his ear. It kept on moving.
It kept on moving.
Yeah, and you were lucky that they were able to, in your case,
mine moved a little bit, but I don't think it ain't quite the same type of. It might not be the same type of implant.
Right.
Now Dr. Leir had a video, and it was on my old camera, and he had of a woman that had something in her arm, and it was a lump, an implant, and that thing moved around. And they did get it cornered and got it out, and it was kind of a bivalve looking deal. I mean, it was an interesting thing. But like I say, watching that move around underneath the skin of her arm, pretty hard for me to keep my cookies down. Like I said, I wasn't cut out to be a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, like I said, I mean, I'm just talking about the implants that, that Dr. Leir took out. There could be all kinds of different types of implants out there we just don't know about, I mean, and we ain't going to know about. So, but, that's the way the ball bounces. I'm just trying to deal with the ones that, like I say, Dr. Leir found and give him credit for what he spent a big part of his life for to try to bring it around. I mean, I've had some people tell me some other things, I'm not going to dig or whatever, but, I could see the flaws in their arguments. So.
Yeah, it's bad about his passing. I mean, he was sick for a while, then he seemed to be getting better, and, he was talking about doing more, removal implants, and the next thing I know, I'm reading he passed on. So, I mean, that was a big loss because, the UFO people out there that are really into it, we needed him. I mean, he was another key thing, that proof that something strange is going on. I mean, it's really hard to, sit there and if you got the proof and it's type of metals that some of it, like I think Dr. Leir was saying on Art Bell's show a couple times, it's stuff that they came and put together on this earth, the objects, and I'm just curious how they work and, and how they function and what they do. I mean, that's the interesting part right there.
Well, Dr. Leir did determine with it, and I think, with his research, and I know some people blah, 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 but he returns that they were giving and receiving signals in the VHF, UHF, and microwave. So, let it go from there. I mean, there was functioning objects of sorts. I mean, we're talking supercomputer nanotechnology of whatever. I mean, that's, we're kind of starting to look at some of that stuff now, but this is what they were using and probably got better. So,
oh yeah,
it was one of the things is, well, why would they, if they really wanted to keep him hidden, why did they use, like, I'm thinking like the silver in mine didn't come from this galaxy or solar system.
Uh-huh.
Why would, because it had a different, I said, it had more subatomic matter to carry information. They tried to put in different metals, but they wanted to put in metallics that would let them almost have a maximum, subatomic information carrier material to function. To me, that's why now might not be right, might be wrong. I don't know, but it's a good a punt as any.
Well,
You
my
know?
my feeling is the implants, they actually probably you're reading everything you do, what you think and
Oh well,
everything, and that's kind of scary.
I think I was an open book for 20 plus years. I don't know what else to say about it. Uh, and I find it a little unsettling, but whatever. And I realized that I was interesting enough to be that way. But